All right, so today, class, we're going to read a story. But before we read a story, we're going to talk about two important things that we need to know about stories. So we're going to be talking about story elements, and then once we figure out those story elements, then we're going to be talking about story sequence. Now, your story elements are your characters. Repeat after me: characters,
Characters,
setting,
setting,
plot.
plot,
Now, your story sequence is going to be what happened at the beginning,
beginning,
the
middle,
and the end.
end.
All right. So, characters are the people. They can be people, animals, things, or objects in the story. Your character traits are the qualities used to describe that character. So, say for instance, if I say my character is a dog, what quality can I use to describe my dog? I can say my dog is brown. My dog has long ears. My dog has a short tail. Those are my qualities. Those are the character qualities I'm describing about my dog. Now, the setting. The setting is normally where it takes place. So I can say my dog was in the park. Where was my dog?
In the park.
So that's telling me that my dog was in the park. That's the setting. All right, my plot are the events that happened in the story. So my dog was in the park. He ran to a tree. He picked up a stick. He took the stick back to his owner, and then they walked out of the park. I told you that my dog was in the park. He ran to a tree. He picked up a stick. Those are the events. He ran to a tree. He picked up a stick. He walked back to his owner, and then they left the park. So that's my character was my dog. My setting was in the park, and then my events that happened was he went to the tree. He picked up a stick and went back to his owner. So we're going to be figuring out our characters in our story that we're going to be reading in our text collection. The story that we're going to be reading is called Thundercake. So we're going to be reading Thundercake. All right. So what does the author want us to know about Thundercake? Now, before we move on to Thundercake, we're going to try a little exercise. Who can create or come up with a character? Who can tell me a character? And remember, it can be people, animals, things, or objects. So who wants to give me a character? All right? All right, good. So you said your character is your mom. So your mom. All right. What can you tell me about your mom? Mom has long black hair. She has on a red shirt. And what? She wears blue pants. Okay, good. Good job. Give it some shine. All right, so he said his first character is his mom. His mom wears red shirt, blue pants, and she has long hair. Now, where is the setting? Tell me a setting for mom. Create me a setting for mom. Where is she? All right. So, where is your mom? At work. Okay, good. That's the setting. His setting is mom is at work. Your setting again is where and when the story takes place. And we know that his story is going to take place where? At mom's job. All right. So, what are the plots? Tell me some events that took place at mom's job. All right. All right, good. So you can say that mom went to work. They had a party for her. At the party, mom may have ate some cupcakes and she may have opened her gifts. All right, good job. That's the plot. The events that happened in the story. Mom went to work. They had a party. She ate cupcakes. She opened her gift. All right. Now, knowing our characters, knowing our setting, and knowing our plot, that leads us to beginning, middle, and end. Because we know our setting, we know our plot, and we know our characters. And Ms. Moore just said that out of order. Let's start over. We know our characters, we know our setting, and we know our plot. So now we're able to figure out what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end. So, turn in your book to page 12. And we are going to read Thundercake. All right? Now, let's go ahead. Thundercake. All right. On a sultry summer day at Grandma's farm in Michigan, the air gets damp and heavy. Storm clouds drift low over the fields. Birds fly close to the ground. Where do the birds fly?
Close to the ground.
The clouds glow for an instant with a sharp, crackling light, and then a roaring, low, tumbling sound of thunder makes the windows shudder in pain. So far, who's our character? Grandma. Good. Grandma is our character. And where is Grandma? What's the setting? Where is it taking place? On her farm. Good job. It's taking place on her farm. And so far, what's happening? Do we know what's happening so far? No. Good. We haven't got to the plot, but so far we know our character is Grandma, and we know it's taking place on the farm. So we know our character and we know our setting. All right. Grandma looked at the horizon, drew a deep breath, and said, "This is thunder cake baking weather. Looks like a storm coming to me." So what's getting ready to happen?
A storm.
A storm. So that's going to lead us to our plot. It's going to lead us to the events that's getting ready to happen in our story. Child, you come out from under that bed. It's only a thunder you hear, my grandma said. The air was hot, heavy, and damp. A loud clap of thunder shook the house, rattled the windows, and made me grab her clothes. "Steady, child," she cooed. "Unless you let go of me, we won't be able to make a thunder cake today." So what are they going to make?
A thunder cake.
All right, thunder cake. I stammered. Stammered means you kind of stamp a little bit because you're still nervous, you're still scared. So she stammered and hugged her even closer. Don't pay attention to that old thunder except to see how close the storm is getting. When you see the lightning, start counting real slow. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. That number is how many miles away the storm is. Understand? She asked. We need to know how far away the storm is so we have time to make the cake and get it into the oven before the storm comes, or it won't be real thunder cake. All right, so let's do a check. So far, who's our character? Because we've added another character.
The grandma and the granddaughter.
Grandma and the
Granddaughter.
Grandma and the granddaughter, right. Grandma and the granddaughter are our characters. Now, what's going on? What's happening? Who can tell me what's happening? What do you think is happening? What's going on with the granddaughter?
She's scared of the thunder.
How do we know she's scared of the thunder?
Because she was up under the bed.
She hid up under the bed. She hid up under the bed. So we can say that that's what happened at the what?
Beginning
Beginning of our story. The little girl heard the thunder. She was scared, and she hid up under the bed. All right, so we have to keep reading in order to find out what happened in the middle and what happened in the end. All right?
Yes.
Now, her eyes surveyed the black clouds away off in the distance. Then she strolled into the kitchen. Her worn hands pulled a thick book from the shelf above the wood stove. "Let's find that recipe, child," she crowded as she lovingly fingered the grease-stained pages to crease a spot. "Here it is, thunder cake." She carefully pinned the ingredients on a piece of notepaper. "Now let's gather the things that we'll need," she exclaimed as she scurried toward the back door. So, what lets you know that Grandma's made that cake before? I'm going to read it again. It says, "Let's find that recipe, child." She crowded as she lovingly fingered the grease-stained pages to a creased spot. "Here it is, thunder cake." What lets you know that Grandma probably had made this cake before?
The paper greasy.
Her paper's greasy, which means she used it before. And it also says she looked
It's
for
got a crease.
Crease. It was crease. Good job. And she looked for her recipe, which means that she's done it before. She's looked for her recipe. She's done it before. All right? Let's move on. We were by the barn door when a huge bolt of lightning flashed. I started counting like Grandma told me to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why was she counting so slowly? Why was she counting like that? Right. Grandma told her that she needed to count slow. This was going to help her get over the what? Get over the thunderstorm. Good job. Then the thunder roared. 10 miles. It's 10 miles away, Grandma said as she looked at the sky. About an hour away, I say. You'll have to hurry, child. Gather them eggs careful like, she said. Eggs from mean old Nellie Peck hen. I was scared. I knew she would try to peck me. I'm here. She won't hurt you. Just get them eggs, Grandma said softly. The lightning flashed again. 1, 2, 3, As Grandma milked her kit cow turn and looked mean right at me, I was scared. She looked so big. Zip went the lightning. 1, 2, 3. What is she doing now? She's doing what?
Counting.
Counting again. Good job. I counted. Went the thunder. 8 miles, child. Grandma croaks. Now we have to get chocolate and sugar and flour from the dry shed. I was scared as we walked down the path from the farmhouse through Tangleweed Woods to the dry shed. Suddenly, the lightning slit the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, crashed the thunder. Ooh, it scared me a lot. But I kept walking with Grandma. Another jagged edge of lightning flashed as I crept into the dry shed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's happening? She's counting what? She started at 10 and now she's at 6. So that means she's counting what?
Down.
Down. She is counting down. Good job. Kaboom! The thunder bellowed. It was dark and I was scared. I'm here, child, Grandma said softly from the doorway. Hurry now. We don't have much time. We've got everything but the secret ingredient. 3 overripe tomatoes and some strawberries, Grandma whispered as she squinted at the list. I climbed up high on the trellis. The ground looked a long way down. I was scared. I'm here, child, she said. Her voice was steady and soft. You won't fall. I reached 3 luscious tomatoes while she picked strawberries, lightning again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I counted. Kaboom! The thunder growled again. We hurried back to the house in the warm kitchen and we measured the ingredients. I poured them into the mixing bowl while Grandma mixed. I churned the butter for the frosting and melted chocolate. Finally, we poured the batter into the cake pans and put them into the oven together. Lightning lit the kitchen. I only counted to 3 and the thunder rumbled and crashed. 3 miles away, Grandma said, and the cake is what? In the oven. We made it. We'll have a real thunder cake. As we waited for the cake, Grandma looked out the window for a long time. Why you aren't afraid of thunder? You're too brave, she said, and she looked right at me. I'm not brave, Grandma, I said. I was under the bed, remember? But you got from under it, she answered. And you got eggs from mean old Nellie Pick-Hen. You got milk from old Kit Cow. You went through the Tanglewood Woods to get the dry shed. You climbed the trellis in the barnyard. From where I sit, only a few brave person could have done all those things.
I think it's over, isn't it?
I thought and thought as the storm rumbled closer. She was right. I was brave. Brave people can't be afraid of a sound, child, she said, as we spread out the tablecloth and set the table when we were done. We hurried into the kitchen to take the cake out of the oven. After the cake had cooled, we frosted it. Just then the lightning flashed, and this time it lit the whole sky. Even before the last flash had faded, the thunder rolled, boom, crashed, and boom, just above. The storm was here. Perfect, Grandma cooed. Just perfect. She beamed as she added the last strawberry to the glistening, look how good that cake looked, the glistening chocolate cake on top of our thunder cake. As rain poured down on our roof, Grandma cut a wedge for each of us. So a wedge is like a huge triangle, almost like this. She cut a wedge of cake. She poured us cups of tea. When the thunder roared above us so hard, it shook the windows and rattled the dishes in the cupboards. We just smiled and ate our thunder cake. From that time on, I never feared the voice of thunder again. All right, so let me tell y'all a quick little story. So when Miss Moore was a little girl, she used to be scared of thunderstorms. And I would always cover my eyes and cover my ears. And my grandma would tell me it was okay. So I really used to be scared of thunderstorms. So that's why I kind of really like this story. It's like one of my favorite from our unit. All right, so let's talk about our characters. Who are our characters?
Grandma and the granddaughter.
All right, now, where did the story take place? On a what?
Farm. And
on a farm. How do we know it took place on the farm?
the hen.
The hen, it says she got the chickens from the hen. And she got
the
milk
cow.
from who? That mean old cow. All right, so plots. What events happened in the story? The little girl was what? Scared of the
Hide
thunder.
up under bed.
She hid up okay, so she hid up under the bed first. Because why did she hide under the bed?
Because she was scared of thunder.
She was scared of the thunder. The little girl was scared of the thunder, so she hid up under the bed. So we know our characters, we know our setting, and we know our plot. All right, so let's move over to our story sequence of Thundercake, which means you're going to tell me what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end. Now, what happened in the beginning of the story? The little girl was scared of what? Thunder. We know the little girl was scared of thunder. So, Grandma said what? She told her child, come from under that bed.
And let's make a thunder
Let's make
cake.
a thunder cake. Now, in the middle, what happened in the middle? After the grandma told her to come from under the bed, we're going to make the thunder cake. What happened next?
She started counting.
She started counting so she wouldn't be what?
Scared.
As she was counting, what else was she doing? She was getting
Getting
what?
ingredients for the thunder
She
cake.
was getting ingredients for the thunder cake. That made her brave. And then what happened in the end? What did they do? As she was counting, they was getting ingredients for the thunder cake. What happened in the end?
They made thunder cake.
They made thunder cake. Now, during this time, was the little girl scared?
She
Kinda,
wasn't.
sorta, a little bit each
her
time.
mind was taken off of it.
Good job. Her mind was taken away from her because she was making thunder cake. So in the end, they got all the ingredients. They put them all together. They mixed it, poured it in the pan, and together they stuck it in the oven. Why did they stick it in the oven together? Why didn't the little girl put it in there by herself?
It was hot.
Good job. The oven is hot. So when you at home, you can cook with your parents or your older siblings. You cannot cook, or it's not good for kids to cook by themselves because the oven is hot. So they put it in the oven, and then in the end, what happened? They ate the chocolate cake, and the little girl was what?
Not afraid of
Storms anymore. All right? Good job. Y'all did that pretty good. All right, so tomorrow when we come back, I'm going to give you all a sheet. It's going to have our story sequence. And you're going to have to tell me what happened at the beginning, the middle, and the end. And then when you get done, you can draw a picture, okay? All right. Good job. Good lesson.